Hello, thank you for joining me for yoga class today. Today's class is called Yoga to Reduce Anger. Anyone actively practicing yoga is a human being, and anger is a normal human emotion. We all get angry, even yogis, even yoga practitioners, even spiritual people. Everyone has the sensation of the emotion of anger. Most spiritual teachings ask us to be present with what is, but sometimes what is a lot of anger, and that's okay. It's natural and it's normal to feel anger, and yoga can help us find the compassionate action that the anger is sometimes trying to point us toward. So the intention of this class today is to move through some of that emotion, recognize it, see it, let it come up, and then send it away. So please join me as we come into a comfortable seat. Set yourself up in whatever way works for you. We are going to be practicing a few rounds of our breath of fire, our Kapalabhati breath. And the reason why is because the fire wants vigorous movement. It wants to move. So we're going to try and stoke that fire right from the get-go. So to try this breath of fire, I recommend taking a deep inhalation through your nostrils, and then as you exhale, let the air go. Now, inhale to 3/4 lung capacity, and your exhale is going to be a series of continuous exhalations. So maybe just watch the first one with me. Inhaling to 3/4 lung capacity, and I'll take many continuous exhalations. Inhale, exhale, let it go. Now, if you want, you can bring your hand to your belly, and as you're making those forceful exhalations, just focusing on the exhalations, the inhalations are going to happen naturally. If your hand is on your belly, you'll feel a pumping action. So now let's try this one together. Inhale to 3/4 lung capacity, and exhale. Let it go. Inhale deeply. Exhale, sigh of relief. All right, we're going to try 2 more rounds. If my exhalation series is going a little bit longer than yours, that's okay. You can stop wherever you need to. Have this experience in the way that you need. Starting again, next round, inhale just 3/4 lung capacity, and exhale. Let it go. Inhale deeply. Exhale, sigh of relief. Now, some people can do this 20 times in a row. That does take practice to work up to. So just trying a few or several of these. Let's try one more time. Inhale, 3/4 lung capacity, and exhale, 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 exhale. Inhale all the way to the top of the breath. Exhale, let it go. Now just notice your natural breath, the way that you're breathing now without force or control. Notice what shifted in your breath with that practice. Notice any energy that might have shifted or amplified for you. Simply notice. For me, a lot of the yoga practice is just noticing. From here, we're going to start to move our bodies into yoga postures. And the first one we're going to come into is Camel Pose, Ustrasana. So from here, we're going to shift from seated to kneeling. So you can take your hands forward and then just come on to your hands and knees. From there, make sure your knees are hip width, and then walk your hands towards your body. Lift your hands off the mat. So now you've got your hips above your knees, shoulders above your hips. Now in this camel pose, You can tuck your toes if you'd like. And then from here, you've got the option to take right hand to right heel, left hand to left heel, press the hips together. Press the hips forward. Elbows are coming together towards each other. Now, if that's too much of a heart opener for you right off the bat, then you can take the option of bringing your hands to your jeans pockets. Imagine that you're positioning your hands into your jeans pockets, palms to the glutes. Bring the elbows towards each other, and then from here, open the heart, press the thighs and the hips forward, gaze up. You can also take the variation of making prayer hands, this reverse namaskar behind the back, pressing the hips forward. So you've got a lot of options that you can come into for your camel pose. Find the one that works best for you, and then prepare to come out. Now, as you come out, we're going to go into balasana, child's pose. So if your hips have been needing attention, I recommend taking the knees wide, big toes together, walk the hands forward. Forehead meets the mat. Gentle hip opening here. If you rather release your back, bring your knees together, feet together, arms by your sides. Opportunity to relax the shoulders, forehead meets the mat. Flexion for the spine. Child's pose is a really nice option because it helps us to calm the nervous system. And when we're angry, that's just what we need. We need to down regulate. We need to get back to ourselves, back to feeling balanced. It's like an opportunity to take a time out from everything and just go inward and just chill out. Now, if you're really angry and you're really needing to down-regulate and calm your nervous system, I find that this posture is very beneficial to stay in for 3 to 5 minutes, maybe even longer, maybe 8 to 11. It's up to you, depending on how you're feeling. To continue our class sequence, we'll start to come out on an inhale breath, lift the head. Reach the crown of the head up towards the sky. From here, moving on now to a standing position. So you decide how you want to get there. I'm going to demonstrate through tabletop, separating the knees under the hips, and then I'm going to curl my toes, lift the hips way up high and back, downward facing dog. Now, from downward facing dog, you can walk your feet towards your hands, transitioning to a half lift as you bring your palms to your shins. And then as you exhale, you can come into a forward fold, letting the arms dangle. Arms can stay dangling or hands can come to opposite elbows, framing your head with your arms. If the hamstrings are tight, take a micro bend in the knees. Again, forward fold is a nice opportunity to stay as long as you'd like if you need to chill out. This posture is all about inviting relaxation into the physical body. If your hands are on your elbows, you can release. Soften the knees, slowly start to rise up. Take your time, there's no rush. Let your head come up last to prevent you from getting dizzy. Now we're in a standing posture, Tadasana. While we're here, we can take some shoulder rolls. Inhale, lift the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, take the shoulders back and down. Couple more times. Inhale, shrug the shoulders up. Exhale, shoulders come back and down. Let's try that again. Just letting any tension melt away from the shoulders and the upper back. Good. Now from here, we're going to practice a standing position. This is our revolved crescent lunge. So with feet to the top of the mat, feet hip distance, we'll start off by keeping the right foot at the top of the mat and just shift the weight over to the right side so that you can lift the left foot. Take the left toes to the back of the mat. So now the right knee is tracking above the right ankle. The left heel is lifted. So as if you're starting in a crescent lunge. Now we're going to revolve it by bringing the palms together. And because the right foot is forward, we're going to twist to the right. So we're going to take that left tricep to the outside of the right thigh And then rotate your chest towards your thumbs. Feel the strength in your legs. Let this twisting be a detoxification, releasing any energy that's not serving you. Feel that right hip engaging. On the next inhale, we're going to come out, reaching the arms up. Now, as we transition to the other side, we can include a vinyasa. So on the next exhale, palms come down to the mat. Right toes come back. It's plank position. Here we can lower knees, chest, chin, then come onto the belly, come onto the thighs. Inhale, lift the chest, gaze forward. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Now, in this downward facing dog, you can rock the hips from side to side, feeling into the side body. Maybe you bend one knee as the opposite leg straightens. And then from here, you're going to make your way to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. And then inhale, it's back up to Tadasana. Good. So we're going to do that on the other side now. So this time the left foot's going to stay forward. The right toes are coming back, setting up first for our crescent lunge. We've got the left knee tracking above the left ankle, and we've got the right heel lifted. So starting off, bringing the arms forward, fingertips up, palms come together, thumbs down the midline. Now, because the left foot is forward, we're going to be twisting to the left. So right tricep to the outside of the left thigh, twist the chest towards the thumbs. Hold and breathe here. Feel the strength in your legs. Feel that left hip engaging. Coming out with our breath. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, take the hands down. Now we've got an opportunity to step the left foot back and move through a vinyasa. This time, instead of knees, chest, chin, we can lower chaturanga, hugging the elbows in, and then coming onto the tops of the feet, extend the arms. It's upward facing dog. Exhale, take it to downward facing dog. Enjoy a couple rounds of breath here. You can always come into child's pose if you prefer. And then make your way to the top of the mat, step or jump. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, you can sweep the arms up, gathering energy. Exhale, bring the thumbs down the midline. Back to our standing position. Now, from here in our standing position, we are going to move into a goddess pose. So for the goddess pose, we want the legs to be a little wider than the shoulders. So find that stance. I'm seeing a red light. Let me make sure I'm still recording. Okay, it's all good. Now, with that wider stance, we're also going to take a hand mudra. So in our goddess pose, rotate the toes out, heels in, bend the knees. Now think about getting the knees wide, but you don't want to sit lower than the knees. Now from here, for our Ganesha Mudra, we're going to interlace the fingers this way, hold this grip, stay in your squat. Now the reason why we're doing this Ganesha Mudra in our goddess pose is because it helps relieve stress and provide inner strength to overcome obstacles. So if you've heard of Ganesha, you know that Ganesha is the elephant head on the human body legend that's all about removing obstacles. Now, as you feel the strength building in your legs, you can challenge yourself by lifting your toes. Keep this Ganesha Mudra with your hands and think about what you want to let go of, what obstacles you want to overcome. Hold for one more full round of breath. Exhale, press your feet to the floor, release your hands, let them go. Feel all that fire that you're burning away, letting stuff go. And with your breath, you can inhale, take it in completely. Exhale, let it go. Now you heard the sound of that, right? We are going to take the wood chopper now. We're gonna really let some shit go. So what we're gonna do is bring the fingers to interlace, arms above head, find a comfortable stance, okay? Feet a little wider than the hips. Interlace your fingers, ears between biceps. Fingers are reaching up towards the sky. Now in this wood chopper, we're gonna pretend that we're holding an axe and we're gonna let that axe come down. And as the axe comes down, we're gonna make that sound, ha. And each time it comes down, ha, we are gonna chop away anything that we no longer want, anything that doesn't serve us anymore. Now, as you're doing this chopping, know that you can do this as long as you want, whenever you want. We're gonna do this several times together. If you need more time, you can pause the video and certainly do that. For now, let's take a few together. Take a deep inhale breath. Keep moving. Each time you bring the wood chopper arms down with your imaginary axe, let go of what you don't need. Let go of what is no longer serving you. Now's the time. Move that energy. And one more time. Release. Find stillness. Close your eyes. Bring your gaze inward. In this time, feel the energy flowing within your physical body. Feel the energy shifting and transmuting. Know how powerful you are to be able to move this energy yourself with your intention, with your practice. One more full round of breath. Let it go. All right, now we're going to come from standing back down to the mat. So we're going to come into some core work. Come on down to the mat however you want to. If you want to challenge yourself, you can come onto your tippy toes, lift your heels, reach your arms forward, deep bend at the knees, sit back. Come on down. If you didn't want to come down that way, that's totally fine. Do it your way. And as we come into our core work, first we want to position our hips, back, shoulders, and head to the mat. And then we'll lift the legs up. Now, as we lift the legs up, let's bring the palms behind the head. Keep the legs lifted. Take an inhale breath, lift the shoulders. Take an exhale breath, lift the tailbone. Now, as you lower your right heel, bring your right elbow to your left thigh. As you lower your left heel, bring your left elbow to your right thigh. Now, with control, continue to alternate. It's up to you how many of these you want to do. It's up to you how slow you make these. So the slower you go, the more you're going to feel that engagement in the core. Maybe take one more on each side. My blocks are in my way, so I'm having to modify my arms a little bit, but it's all good. If you want to keep going, go for it. If you've had enough, go ahead and bring your feet down to the mat. Take a full round of breath. Exhale, let go. Now coming into fish pose. Extend the legs, heels find the mat, legs are straight, legs are together. Now lift the right glute just enough to slide the right hand under, and then lift the left glute just enough to slide the left hand under. From here, lift your chest, come off your upper arms, rotate the crown of your head to the mat. So your entire back is lifted off the mat. Heart is open, chest is open. Fish pose. Now, if you don't want to hold yourself up, you can always do this with a block. underneath your upper back. You could even take a second block underneath your head. If you start to feel dizzy, you can come out. And whenever you are ready to come out, just rotate so the back of your head meets the mat. Release one hand at a time out from underneath your glutes. Take a full round of breath here. And then we'll come into shoulder stand. So as we come into shoulder stand, you can bring your hands back underneath your glutes, this time palms to the glutes. Lift the feet up just like you did before in your core work. Now from here, press your feet up so you can lift your tailbone. You can support your low back with your hands, point your toes to the ceiling. Now keep the head straight, avoid the urge to look left or right. Option to stay there or option to take your feet overhead. So maybe you come into plow pose instead if you prefer. This is up to you. Plow pose is an opportunity to get back into stretching the back of the body. Coming back into that opportunity of relaxation. And then slowly rolling out. Coming back down, tailbone meets the mat when you're ready. Bend the knees, feet to the mat. Feet can go wide, knees can come in towards each other. Just take a moment to notice how you feel. Now that you've done some solid work to move some energy. And at this point of our practice, we've got an opportunity to come into Shavasana. An opportunity to integrate the deep work that you've done through your breath and your movement. If you'd like to take that traditional Shavasana shape, you can set yourself up in the shape of a star with space between the feet, legs, space of the armpits. Tuck the chin towards the chest, lengthen the back of the neck. Just breathe. It feels so good to just move your body and just let things go. Just because something happens, we don't have to keep it. We can let it go. Option to stay in this reclined position. If you rather close with a seated position, you're welcome to do that as well. This is your practice. Certainly allow yourself to finish in a way that makes sense for you. All you need to do now is just focus on your breath. Focusing on the sensation of each inhalation and each exhalation. And with this breath, really practicing lengthening the breath. Inhaling all the way to the top of the breath. And exhale, slowly letting go. Slow, slow, slow. Take your time. As we bring this practice to a close, when it becomes time to move off your mat into the rest of your day or your evening, something I want you to think about is trusting your instincts. Be open to what comes next. Journaling can help clarify what you feel. This is a nice practice, particularly if you enjoy writing. If you start to cry, don't hold back. The intention is to unstick energy. Remember, let it move, shift, transmute. You may feel clean and clear, or you may discover there is something you need to do. Just observe. Let each exhalation be an opportunity to surrender, to soften, to let go. Feel deep gratitude for this human experience, for this opportunity to feel, connect, and grow. Know that emotions are just visitors. Sometimes, like house guests, they stay longer than we'd like them to, but it's just temporary. And when we want that emotion of anger to go, if it's still there, bring it to your mat. Let it manifest through your practice. Let it come up, see it, recognize it, say hello to it, and then let it move. Let it shift. Let it go. As you take your next inhalation, feel the chest rise, expand, heart opens. Exhale, feel the torso soften and relax. Inhale, taking in fresh, clean, new energy. Exhale, let anything stale and stagnant go. Inhale, feel the chest open and expand, cultivating love and compassion. Exhale, bring it into yourself. Be compassionate to yourself. Allow yourself to be human. Allow yourself all the experiences of all the emotions. It's okay. Thank you so much for showing up, for being here, and for allowing me to guide you. It is my honor to be here with you today in this beautiful practice. Namaste. Peace, peace, peace. See you next time.